our struggle, I mean, had really been on the defensive end. When you looked at our numbers in the clutch games we were losing, we were hemorrhaging points. The defensive end was really, really poor. So I think with the lineup, we have corrected that. It's tougher. We're more defensive. We're bigger, able to get stops. Obviously, when you're getting stops down the stretch, your best offense is to continue to play with pace, get out and run. You don't want to get into a slugfest. Now, there still has to be possessions where you're controlling the game in the half court, you're getting your shots. I feel much better about where we're going, who we're going to, what we're running. The players are aware of it. Now you just got to go execute and find a good shot. Not turn it over, defend, and then take high-quality shots. Knock down free throws, and I think those are important moments. So I think give our guys a lot of credit that they have found a path there in clutch games.
With more of your players starting to become available, is mixing and matching rotations becoming your most difficult challenge right now?
Yeah, it's very complicated right now. It's about to get more complicated probably in the next game or two, But it's a good problem. We've been waiting for this, and we got healthy bodies back. We're playing good basketball. Guys are confident right now, but, it's complicated. It's a puzzle that I got to figure out night to night. I can't make 15 guys happy, but I do know 15 guys are ready to go. I do know that, and I trust all 15. And I shared that with them the other day that, at any moment it could be your night, it could be your moment, your quarter. I think McGowan's was that example last game. Didn't play in the first half, came out and played, 18 straight minutes to help us close that game against Golden State. So you never know when your number's going to get called. Stay ready, and we'll trust this group.
Can I go down memory lane with relationships? Start with Will Hardy.
Will Hardy, yes, yeah.
Background on various stories and times, and maybe.
Well, Will and I, we didn't cross paths my first run in San Antonio. It's when I came back in 2015, where we had a 3-year run together. Will and I walked a similar path. He had the pressure of being Greg Popovich's video guy. I had the early pop though. He had the more chilled pop. I think I'll tell him that. I had the early pop, and but both of us are so fortunate. We're standing on shoulders of giants, players, coaches. To be a part of that coaching tree, we're both very fortunate. And, watching Will grow from that video room, you could see he had massive potential to be a head coach someday. You never know if that path's going to break your way. You have to have breaks along the way. But we're very fortunate to come out of that, spur tree. And now he's running his own path. And, we both carry a lot of the same principles that were formed in us at a very young age and in San Antonio. And it's really cool just to watch, and I'm really proud of him how he's navigated this situation. And he's obviously one of the great, bright minds in our coaching profession, and he's going to do great things here. So, but we shared a lot of great memories there in San Antonio, and I tried to give him a little bit of a hard time in that role, but he was already kicking butt at that time, and he didn't need my help. He was doing great. And I think it's one of those things where you try to raise a standard in your time that you have, and you hope that the next guy comes up and raises the bar. And I'm assuming he did that in San Antonio. He raised the bar, and we're just so fortunate to come out of that tree.
And the other one is he's a little bit of a cult here.
Oh, no.
Yeah. We refer to him as the challenger. And I believe George Rodman and you have some ties.
Well, I'm the one that brought Georgie onto the coaching side. See, I tricked him into coming onto the coaching side. He was on the path to do the front office thing, and maybe that was a cleaner path for him. But I convinced him to come over to the coaching side and be a crazy wacko like us, and so he joined us on the coaching side in Charlotte. And I was so fortunate to have him. He was phenomenal. You all know him, his spirit, his energy. One of the brightest minds in our game, and he kept my head up in those 4 years in Charlotte. His optimism every day. He'd always have a nugget, something good for me, whether we were going through a strong stretch, a poor stretch. Georgie, those, You know, I can think of many one-on-one conversations when the staff would leave. When Georgie stayed, I knew something good was about to happen, and he was going to fill my cup up for the day. So the challenges, I guess that came on later. I don't really know him as the challenger, you know. How's he doing so far?
Doing pretty good. He'll slump.
I got a pretty good challenger too. I got a pretty good challenger too.
Out of his slump.
He's back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He slipped for a little while. Shooting slump.
Yeah. He's
Bad challenges.
bad challenge. All right. I won't tell him you said that. I just talked to him, so I won't repeat that to him. But it's great to see both these guys, and you know, obviously we don't get enough time together in the NBA season, but very, very proud of both of them.
You mentioned something that we've heard a couple of times from different people on the pop tree that you saw early on that Will had what it would take, or that he had characteristics to be a head coach. What were those?
I think relationships. You know, I would say that we, you know, our time in San Antonio, we're all products of the relationships we had, and a lot of it was the players. You know, how they treated one another, how they cared for one another. They emulated for us what, you know, depth and love and care and support look like. And Will fell right in line with that. You know, he had great relationships with players, with coaches. You know, people loved him, trusted him. He had a bright mind for the game. Obviously, if you're in that pool, you better have some opinions, and you better know what you're talking about, and you're going to get it right sometimes, and you're going to, you know, screw it up sometimes. But that's okay. That was part of our culture and DNA. Is like, you got to bring something to the table, and sometimes it's going to stick, and sometimes it won't. But I think Will was, you know, multiple times willing to have courage to step out and, you know, take some risk. But I think at the end of the day, just the relationship piece, that's what this business is about. At the end of the day, we can talk about tactics and X's and O's. Are you able to tap into individuals to their best, to see the greatness in others and raise it, and pull out the best in others and help them see their greatness? And I think Will always had that, and I'm assuming he's doing that here too. So, but we were both, going back to that, we were very fortunate that we saw that emulated for us. Coach Pop led the charge. The players were great, and all of us that, you know, went on to be head coaches, I think we've all taken a piece of that with us. Good? Thanks.